ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकाय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वतीदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे। जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. All right, so thank you all the devotees for joining uh, for the session on the glories and the confidential hidden identity of Lord Jagannath and Puri Dham. And thank you for the opportunity to give me service to serve you all. So, whatever points that I've collected, it's all because of the mercy of His Holiness Srila Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj. Because I think the greatest contribution of Maharaj in ISKCON is that he has revealed the glories and the confidential identity of Jagannath Puri Dham as well as Lord Jagannath, and Rath Yatra as well as glories of Mahaprasad also. So I'm not sure if we'll be able to cover the glories of Mahaprasad in this session, because there are so many points that Maharaj has explained, and so I've just collected the points from his teachings in different places, tried to uh, collect all these wonderful teachings at one place. And there are a lot of things to be shared, but we won't be able to do justice because there's time limit also. But yeah, we can start with the identity of Lord Jagannath as well as Puri Dham, especially the hidden identity. Everyone is aware of Jagannath Puri, the glories of Jagannath Puri, and how it is the abode of Lord Jagannath. But why this kind of form? And what is the significance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, uh, like why he had spent so much time in Jagannath Puri instead of any other place, any other dham? Why he preferred to stay in Jagannath Puri? Now, one of the reasons that he stayed in Jagannath Puri is because of the request of Sachi Mata, because Sachi Mata wanted him to stay near, somewhere near Navdeep, so that she can always, whenever devotees go back and forth, then she can get the news of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would also come and visit, and he can go back, and like, so that will be very practically convenient because it is very close. Whereas if Mahaprabhu would have gone to Dwarka, then things would have been different, right? Because it's a long distance, as well as Vrindavan. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's inclination was to actually go to Vrindavan, but because of Sachimata's order, he stayed back in Jagannath Puri. And there's also internal reason that we are going to discuss. So, what is the connection between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Jagannath Puri? And what are we supposed to, how are we supposed to worship Lord Jagannath? Being Gaudiya Vaishnava Chaitanya Mahaprabhu followers. So, we have a particular, like, we have to imbibe the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in order to worship Lord Jagannath. And so, all these details will be revealed to you today. All right, so I just wanted to share some basic points regarding the appearance of Lord Jagannath. So Jagannath actually appeared during Snan Purnima day. Everyone knows that. Uh, Now, when exactly he appeared? So generally, if you are not aware of the time scale, especially in relation with Lord Brahma's time scale, after coming to ISKCON, we have understood that Brahma lives for 100 years, and one day, which is 12 hours of Brahma, equals to 1,000 cycles of Chatur Yugas, right? So that is just 12 hours of Brahma. Now, in that 1,000 cycles, there are thousands of Satyug, Trita, Dwapar, and Kalyug. So when did Jagannath appear? That is the question. And we know that in one day of Brahma, the 12 hours of Brahma, there are 14 Manus, right? So currently we are in the 7th Manu period, which is Vaivastha Manu. And the first Manu is Swayambhuva Manu, and then second is Swarochisa Manu, right? So when did Jagannath appear? So Jagannath appeared in the first half of the first Manu in Satyuga, and he appeared in Gundicha Mandir. This is according to Skand Puran. So first Manu is Swayambhu Manu, and in first half of Swayambhu Manu's period, so each and every Manu lives for 71 Chatur Yugas or Divya Yugas, and so you can consider that let's say 35 Chatur Yugas in that period. Jagannath appeared in the first half. Lord Jagannath appeared, And when did Rath Yatra begin? So this is a question I think devotees they may not know, because generally we always try to connect with this particular Kali Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, etc. But we always forget that the Srimad Bhagavatam, when also it is narrated, so it is describing about the different Manus also. So it is not just Vaivast Manu, but it is like, for example, when there is the appearance of Lord Varaha. So Lord Varaha appears twice. So he appears during the Chakshusha Manu and the Swayambhuva Manu, right? So he is not appearing in Vaivast Manu. And so similarly, Lord Narsingadev, he also appears in Chakshusha Manu, and then Krishna appears in Vaivast Manu. So there are, Rup Goswami has elaborated, described all this in Laghu Bhagavatamrit, which I have shared with you, if you remember, the appearances of different avatars of the Lord in different periods, right? So this Rath Yatra actually began in Satyuga during second Manu Swarochisa, and this is according to Skanda Puran. The verse number is also given 29.25 to 44. So just remember one thing, that Rath Yatra is going on for billions and billions of years. This is the seventh Manu, and Rath Yatra started in the second Manu period's time. Okay. So now, okay. So what is the now? See, there is also in I think in Tulsidas Ramayana or Valmiki's Ramayana, there is a reference of Lord Ram asking Vibhishan to visit Lord Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, or to take their darshan. And there's also the reference in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, where Lord Balram, when he is visiting all the pilgrimage places, so at one point he comes to the presence of Jagannath Puri, and but he does not go and he does not take darshan of Lord Jagannath, because it is mentioned by I think it is Vishwanath Thakur. He says that Balram wanted to avoid his own worship, so he avoided entering the temple of Lord Jagannath. So there are two references in this context. So we can easily understand that actually Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra appeared in second Manu's period. So it's like Achinta Bheda Ved, because we are saying that Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, they are the manifestation of Krishna, Balram, and Subhadra. They are ecstatic Mahabhav form, which actually manifested during Krishna Leela in Dwarka, right? We know this particular pastime. There are other pastimes also connected with this, but what we understand is that these forms manifested when they heard about the glories of Brajvasis, and especially about glories of the Gopis and the Radharani. So that time these ecstatic Mahabhav forms appeared. So then one could question that how is it possible that Krishna, Balram, Subhadra, on one hand they appeared in Vaivast Manu period, in nearly at the end of Dwapar Yuga, but this is referring back to the time when Swayambhu Manu was there, right? So see, that's why one needs to understand that these forms are eternal forms. Srila Prabhupada, in one place, in one purport, I think it is Chaitanya Charitamrita or maybe Srimad Bhagavatam, I think CC. So he says that the deities that we have in the temples, they are eternal forms in the spiritual world. Okay. So the deities, they are eternal. Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra are also eternal. Krishna and Krishna, Balram, I mean, when they actually appear in the material world, but actually these are eternal forms. So that's why we cannot say who came from whom. They are all existing eternally. Vara, Narsimha, Vaman, these are all eternal forms of the Lord. Even what to speak of the Tad Ekatma groups of the Lord, but even the Saktavesh avatars of the Lord are eternals. So Saktavesh basically are the Jivas who are empowered by the Lord, Sakti Avesh. And these are eternal Jivas endowed with the Shakti of the Lord. Okay. Like for example, Narad Muni, then Kumaras, Prithu Maharaj. So they are Saktavesh avatar of the Lord. They are also eternal, and these avatars are also eternal. So what it means is basically at that particular time, they just appear in the material world. That's it. Otherwise, they are eternally existing in their original swarup in the spiritual world. Right? So that's how Balramji also was about to visit Jagannath Puri, and he was going to take darshan, and similarly Vibhishan also took darshan of Lord Jagannath Baldev Subhadra. There's also a wonderful description of Vibhishan residing in Jagannath Puri. This is given in Chaitanya Mangal, the end of the Chaitanya Mangal. There's a pastime, detailed pastime about how Vibhishan meets Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Vibhishan basically appears from the ocean, and then he meets Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then he takes the darshan of Jagannath Baldev Subhadra. A detailed description of that. All right. Now, Jagannath is actually conceived differently by different people, different religious sects. For example, Buddhist, Mayavadis, Vaishnavas, Shaivites, Ganeshites, they all conceive Jagannath as different personalities. So for Buddhist, he's basically wide personification. For Mayavadi, he's like the impersonal personification, is like the uh, manifestation of the Supreme Brahman. Then for the Vaishnavas, obviously we consider Lord Jagannath as Krishna, but the worshippers of Sri Ramanuja Sampradaya, they consider Jagannath to be as Vishnu, the supreme Vishnu. And then the Shaivites, they see Lord Balram as Lord Shiva in Jagannath Baldev Subhadra's form. And then the Ganeshites, they consider Jagannath to be as Ganpati or Ganesha. So, but it is found that mostly, majorly, if you consider, Jagannath is considered to be as Krishna only, because if you see the paddhatis that they use in the temple, the puja, the worship, and all that, it is basically all connected to Krishna and Krishna's pastimes. And in the morning time, morning and noon, they see Jagannath as Krishna, they worship him as Krishna, and dusk they worship Krishna as Dwarkadish, and then late night they worship Krishna as the lover of gopis in Vrindavan, who participate in the Ras Leela. Then Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, if you see their colors, they also represent different colors. For example, they have the black complexion, white complexion, yellow and red complexion. So basically, the black basically means the South Africans. So they represent the entire race in the material world. Like that, you can consider that black represents South Africans, white basically are the Europeans and the Americans, Westerners, and yellow the Chinese, and the red basically the red Indians. So like that, Jagannath is universally approached, accepted, and represented by all of these people. So Balram Das is a Orient Vaishnava, and he says that the three Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, they rest in different parts of the eyes. So the center black portion, the colored portion iris, the white outer portion, and in order to realize God, so one must concentrate on the eyes. So Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, they reside in the eyes, different parts of the eyes, and he says that if you want to uh, realize God, then you have to concentrate on the eyes. So it's a nice analogy he gives. And then in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, 15th chapter, 134 to 135, it is mentioned that in Kali Yuga, Krishna appears in two forms. One is the Daru Brahma, and another is water form, which is the Ganges in Madhya Leela, CC. Now, why does the Lord appear in wood form? Because neem wood is worshipped by all four Varnas, not only the Brahmanas. And that's why, in order to connect with all categories of people, Jivas, Lord Jagannath appears in wood form. Okay. Now, we'll start with the hidden identity of Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, and we start questioning. So, how did the forms manifest? And then the question is that why Balram is first, followed by Subhadra, and then Jagannath. Okay, because you see in the Rath Yatra, first it's the deity of Lord Baldev, which starts moving, and then followed by Baldev's Rath is Subhadra's Rath, and then after the last we have Lord Jagannath's Rath. And another question is that why they rock back and forth when they are about to uh, sit on the chariots. So from temple they move Jagannath to the Raths. So during the process they just keep rocking back and forth like they are intoxicated. And why Baldev, Subhadra are also with Lord Jagannath? So let's try to answer these questions. So first, see, there are three pastimes connected to the manifestation and the appearance of Lord Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra in these particular forms that we see today. I think you are quite aware of the first pastime which happened during the reign of Maharaj Indradumna, and they all appeared in the form of logs, right? And then there was carving, and like you know that pastime. But then second pastime is, I think that also you are aware that they were hearing the glories of Krishna, the Vrajvasis, the Gopis in Dwarka, the Mahishis, they were listening from Rohini Devi. And at the gate, Subhadramai and so she was standing and she was hearing. And Subhadra and Baldev, they both were standing there so that they could prevent Krishna from entering. Because if he will enter, then Krishna will maybe he will run away to Braj by hearing the glories. So they wanted to prevent Krishna from entering. But then while hearing the glories, they became so absorbed and they became so enchanted that their forms manifested in the form of tortoise shapes. So basically, which is the Mahabhav Prakash form of the Lord. And then seeing, so just Krishna just was about to enter and he saw and he heard, and then his form also turned like that. And then Narad Muni saw from the sky, and he asked for a benediction from the Lord that these three forms should be worshipped in Jagannath Puri. So he said, okay. So this is the second story. And the third story. So I'm not sure if you know the third story, but this is described by our Goswamis. And Gaur Govind Maharaj, he quotes this story, I think, in the Embankment of Separation book. And so what happens is, so Krishna, so I will not go into the details of the pastime, but just to give a briefing of the Leela, Krishna is in Dwarka, and like Balram, Uddhav, Narad Muni, they are all there. So basically, Krishna is actually murmuring and remembering the names of Gopis, Radharani, and constantly he is in anxiety. He's actually at the night time. He's sleeping near the queens, but the queens are hearing all these different names from Krishna, the names of the Braj Gopis. So they are in anxiety also, and in order to relieve from the anxiety, Balramji and Uddhavji and Subhadra Maya, they all arrive and they see the condition of Krishna. So, so there is a discussion among them how to resolve this. And Narad Muni also arrives, and then they somehow they decide that Balramji, Uddhav should go to Vraj and inform the Vrajvasis. They all decide that we should immediately take Krishna to Vrindavan so that he will be pacified. But then um, so they asked Uddhav to go first, but then Uddhav says that I already visited and I came back. I promised to the Vrajvasis that Krishna will return, but Krishna till date he has not kept his promise and he has not returned. So if I go, I will be embarrassed. So it's better I do not go. Then comes the turn of Baldev. Then Baldev says that okay, I can probably go, but then he also says that I also visited, so I also cannot go. Then Subhadra Mai voluntarily says that okay, let me go. I have not been there, and because I am a girl, I'm a woman, and I can relate to the Vrajvasis. I can understand their feelings and sentiments, especially of the gopis as being a woman, and so I can convey to them, and I can try to pacify them. And after that, Krishna can actually come. So Subhadra Mai actually started to um, she basically started preparing the chariot and she decided to go. But then Baldev said that, okay, if you are going, then let me go before you because I would like to protect you. So you follow me. So Baldev first started on the chariot and he started moving towards Vrindavan. Then Subhadramai followed Baldev. And then finally Krishna, so he was with Narad Muni and Uddhav, and they both were like trying to pacify Krishna. They were chanting the names of the gopis, chanting Harinam Sankirtan. And then Krishna got into, he became conscious and then he thought that I'm not in Dwarka, I'm in Vrindavan. So he started calling the name of the Vrajvasis and all. So then they told him that, okay, look, we are just about to leave for Vrindavan. So let's go soon. So then Krishna also prepared his chariot and he also left. So then when Baldev and Subhadra, they first reached Vraj, then they saw the condition of the Vrajvasis, and seeing the condition, they felt ecstatic emotions and they got into Mahabhav and their forms became like that. And then when Krishna reached Vraj, so he directly went to Nidhuvan. Nidhuvan in, maybe you are aware, in Vrindavan, there is a place called Nidhivan. Uh, Nidhivan Seva Kunj, close to Radha Damodar, Radha Raman temples. So he went to Nidhivan and then he saw Radharani almost about to die, almost in a dying condition. So Lalita Sakhi is there and she is trying to help Radharani to come into consciousness. And then somehow what happened is the wind which was blowing, so it touched Krishna's body and then it touched Radharani's body. So by the smell and by the touch, she could understand that Krishna has arrived. So she became conscious. She suddenly woke up and then she became extremely happy. But Krishna, seeing the condition of Srimati Radharani, actually, his entire body got deformed, got contracted, and then it became like a tortoise. And Radharani saw that form of Krishna. And then Krishna basically he touched Radharani's lotus feet and begged for forgiveness that he's the one who is responsible for this condition. So please forgive me for that. And then so Radharani, saw that Jagannath form, and then Krishna told Radharani that this form will be worshipped in the future. So this is the actual pastime of the manifestation of the Jagannath Baldev Subhadra forms, which is directly connected to Vipralambha Bhav, separate mood of separation, and to its connection with Vraj Leela. So it is very interesting that Vraj Leela is the main Leela. This is according to the Acharyas. And they say that Mathura and Dwarka Leela, it is meant to nourish Vraj Leela. In fact, in Brihad Bhagavatamrit, and I will also share the verse number, Sanatan Goswami, he quotes from the Harivamsh, and he shows that Dwarka is also actually part of Vraj. It is an extension of Vraj. So it also comes in a part of Vraj. And ultimately, Dwarka and Mathura Leela are there to nourish Krishna Leela. Now, how does that nourish? It's basically, see, one thing we have to understand that in any particular Leela of the Lord, whenever there is association between devotees and the Lord, then there is union and separation, especially in Krishna's Leela. So that union and separation is actually Vipralamb and Sambhog. If you want to experience the highest ecstasy in Sambhog, then you cannot experience it without Vipralamba. And if you want to experience the highest level of Vipralamba, then you must have Sambhog also, because you have already met your beloved. So after, so you are, anyways, you are attracted to the qualities of your beloved, and then you meet your beloved, you spend time with beloved, then ultimately you are separated. So your love intensifies, but then you are separated, so it intensifies more. So Vipralamba and Sambhog, these both two Leelas must be there, right? And that's why Mathura Leela and Dwarka Leela, they enhance the Lord's Vipralamba Leela. So generally Vrindavan is Sambhog Leela, but Dwarka and Mathura Puri, they are in Vipralamba Leela. There are many technicalities also, Siddhants, Tattvas behind, I mean, Krishna does not live one step out of Vrindavan. That is also true. At the same time, it also, the gopis have to, the Vrajvasis have to feel separation from the Lord also. So that is also true. I think we have covered all these details in the class, whether Krishna returns to Braj. I think in that class we have covered these details about the Prakat Aprakat Leela, and then how Krishna returns to Braj. Right. So we'll continue with that, but we won't go into the detail of the separation aspect of the Lord, Prakat and the Krishna's return to Braj. All right. So how the forms are manifested, that I have answered, and why Balram is first followed by Subhadra and Jagannath. So that's why. So this is in order. So you see in Rath Yatra, Baldev's Rath moves first, and then Subhadra's body. So this is the reason why Balram, Subhadra, and Krishna. I've already answered that. And why they rock back and forth? Yeah, because Krishna, when he hears about the Vrajvasis, that he is about to meet them, he becomes completely intoxicated. In that intoxicated condition, he is not able to move properly. He's not able to stand properly. So he just keeps moving back and forth. And the same Leela you will see in Jagannath Puri also, when they take out Jagannath Baldev Subhadra from the temple, and they uh, establish him on the chariots. Right. So these questions are answered. Now we'll discuss about the significance of Puri Dham, the hidden identity and the glories. So first of all, Jagannath Puri, as I have shared earlier, it's a Vipralamba Kshetra. Why Vipralamba Kshetra? In fact, it is it is called as union in separation. So the separation is there, but union also appears. Why? So there is union inside, separation outside, and it is a abode which is mixture of Madhurya Dham as well as Aishwarya Dham. Okay, Madhurya, my bhaktas, they can see Vraj Leelas of Radhesham in Jagannath Puri. Okay, so let's try to understand this. So it's a Vipralamba Kshetra. Why Vipralamba Kshetra? The first and foremost thing that we need to understand is the pastime of the Vraj Vasis going to Kurukshetra to meet Krishna. And when they are meeting Krishna, they are seeing Krishna, they are interacting with Krishna, they do not feel that they are actually meeting Krishna, their own Sham Sundar, because Krishna is outside Vrindavan and he is into a lot of opulences. So he's basically in a chariot and he's wearing all these ornaments, gold ornaments, Kshatriya armors and all that. So they cannot relate, although they want to meet Krishna, they are excited to meet Krishna after a long time, but they are unable to see him as they want him to see in Vrindavan. So they, it's like your let's say your one of your family members, he becomes a prime minister, and you go try to meet your son in his office. You will not be able to relate so much because there's a lot of awe and reverence around. So he will not be able to deal with you in that same way. But when he is at home, then you can speak anything, you can do anything you want to do. So the same feeling is there amongst the Vrajvasis when they meet Krishna in Vrindavan. And that's why in the union there is separation. Okay. Because they feel that they still have not met Krishna, their own Krishna, who is a coward boy in the forest of Vrindavan. So basically, because there is opulence, it is Aishwarya Dham, it is Madhuri, opulence. Because of the opulence, it is Aishwarya Dham, and because Radharani wants to desperately meet Krishna and wants to see Krishna in his original form, it is influenced by the Madhurya Dham. And Jagannath Puri is the abode which is the only abode that has all the Leelas manifested. So you have the Dwarka Leela, you have the Vrindavan Leela, you have the Navdeep Leela also. And how Dwarka Leela? Because Jagannath, if you now let's remove the identity of Jagannath with respect to the Vrajvasis. Actually, you cannot separate that identity because the form of Jagannath itself, the Mahavav Prakash form, it's called the Mahavav Prakash, and this form is particularly manifested because of the separation from Srimati Radharani. There is no other reason. This form is manifested because of separation from Srimati Radharani. So when Krishna went to Vraj, he saw the condition of Radharani. He was desperate to meet Radharani, and because of that condition, his form got transformed into this Mahavav Prakash form. So one thing we have to know that Jagannath's identity is actually Krishna in separation from Radharani in that Mahavav Prakash form. So that is Jagannath. That is the real identity of Jagannath. You cannot separate Jagannath from Vraj and the Vrajvasis. Okay. If you separate, then we don't have to worship Jagannath, because for Gaudiya Vaishnava followers, we don't want Jagannath. I mean, we cannot worship Krishna without Radharani. Radharani is our life and soul. So there is no question of worshipping. See, that's the reason. Now, the question is that why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not select Dwarka as an option. Of course, it is very far. That's another reason. But Dwarka, the form is that of 400 form. It's kind of opulent form. Whereas the form in Jagannath Puri is uh, is specifically that Krishna in Dwarka is hankering to go to Braj and in that ecstasy of Mahabhav. Okay, so that is specifically the form of Lord Jagannath. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu specifically chose Jagannath Puri. And in order to also demonstrate and to teach us the glories of Vipralamba Bhav, glories of separation. Like when you worship the Lord in the mood of separation, that takes our intensity of prema to another level. It is an extremely intensified state of prema. And Mahaprabhu also manifested the supreme bhav of Srimati Radharani, which is that bhav, that is Madanakya Mahabhav. So basically, we have this prem from Shraddha, we have prema, 9 stages. In order to attain perfection, we have to have prema. Then only we can go to spiritual world. But then, if you want to be a part of the Braj Leela, you want to be a gopi, then you have to refine your stages. So from prem, you go to sneha. From sneha, you go to man. Then man, pranaya, rag, anurag, bhav, mahabhav. Mahabhav also has further divisions. Rudh Mahabhav, Adi Rudh Mahabhav. And that has also further divisions. It has Mohanakya Mahabhav and Madanakya Mahabhav. So this Madanakya Mahabhav is the sole possession of Srimati Radharani alone. Krishna also does not possess this Mahabhav. Okay, and that's why this Mahabhav was actually um, demonstrated by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the sense that he had um, kind of shown this Mahabhav form, the mood of the nature of this Madanakya Mahabhav in Jagannath Puri. And that's why you'll see that this is the reason Chaitanya Charitamrita is called as the postgraduate study of Krishna's Leela. Because you have this Bhagavad Gita, then you have the graduate study, which is Bhagavatam, and then postgraduate is Chaitanya Charitamrita. Why? Because Mahaprabhu manifests this Madanakya Mahabhav. And this Madanakya Mahabhav can only be understood by devotees who have Radha Bhav, who have this hankering to follow after the mood of the gopis, Raja gopis. Okay. So this is the reason Chaitanya Mahaprabhu selected Jagannath Puri, because it is Vipralamba Kshetra. So seeing the form of Jagannath, it actually enhanced the mood of separation, which would not be possible at any other place. Now Mahaprabhu could have chosen to go to Vrindavan also. He could have stayed there. Although because of Sachimata's suggestion, he did not stay there. But so if you see when Mahaprabhu went to he visits Vrindavan, it is mentioned in CC that his ecstasy increased by 100 times. His ecstasy increased by 1,000 times. His ecstasy increased by unlimited times, which is basically when he goes from on the way from Jagannath Puri to and he reaches Mathura. From then Mathura he enters Vrindavan. From Vrindavan he enters Govardhan, and then he enters Radhakund. So his ecstasy keeps increasing, multiplying. Okay, so that way. Vrindavan definitely is a place or the object of worship of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but Vrindavan is Sambhog Leela, right? And this is Vipralamba Leela, Vipralamba Kshetra. So that's why Mahaprabhu chose that. Yeah, and another, see, our acharyas, they are also given the meaning of Sri Kshetra. There are different names of Jagannath Puri. One of the name is Sri Kshetra, and Sri Kshetra means the Swarup Shakti. It represents the Swarup Shakti, which is Srimati Radharani. That's why Madhurya Bhaktas with the bhav of Srimati Radharani can see that manifested. Madanakya Mahabhav is only distributed in Jagannath Puri, nowhere else. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took darshan, now how we should take darshan of Jagannath? That is very important. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he did not see Jagannath as the Lord of the universe, as opulent person. Okay, that's why, as I shared earlier, Puri Dham is a combination of Madhurya and opulence. It's both, right? Generally, we know that Mathura, Dwarka, they are like opulent places, and Vaikuntha, Ayodhya, they are opulent. But Jagannath Puri is the only Dham which has got Madhurya and uh, Aishwarya combined together. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was not looking for the Lord of the Universe. He was looking for his Shyam Sundar Krishna, who has left Vrindavan. So he's hankering to see that Shyam Sundar form. And Mahaprabhu saw Jagannath as Shyam Sundar. So whenever Shyam Sundar disappeared from his vision, Mahaprabhu started crying like anything, and he was restless in order to find his Shyam Sundar again. So there are so many leelas in Chaitanya Charitamrita. You'll see in Antya Leela, Mahaprabhu has manifested all these Mahabhavas. Okay, so with the same spirit, same mood, we have to also hanker to see Jagannath in his original form as Shyam Sundar, being in the footsteps of the Braj Gopis, Braj Vasis, and the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, especially Chaitanya Mahaprabhu followers. So our goal, the mood that we should have in order to worship Jagannath, is that we should uh, assist. We should our mood has to be that we are going there, and especially the significance for Gaudiya Vaishnavas is that we for us Rath Yatra is the most significant festival, because Rath Yatra is the time when we are drawing back Jagannath from Dwarka to Vrindavan. Okay, and I will also discuss about the significance of Rath Yatra. So that time there is the greatest need for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to assist him to bring Krishna to Vrindavan. So that time we should go. Otherwise, he is in Dwarka. He is basically residing in Dwarka. But still, Vipralamba mood is also enhanced through that. Yeah, and it is also mentioned in the Vaishnava Tantra that whatever Leelas are manifested in Gokul, Mathura, Navdeep, and Dwarka, they are all found in Nilachal. So very special place. Now, the next question is, so basically we see Jagannath is there, Baldev is there, Subhadra is there. What about Radharani? Where is Radharani? We are claiming that we don't want to do anything with Krishna. We only worship Krishna when he is with Radharani. In fact, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur used to say that we are so when we are chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we are not pleading Radharani to engage in service of Krishna. We are pleading Krishna to engage in service of Radharani. So for Gaudiya Vaishnavas, Radharani is the foremost object of worship. And so now the question is that where is Radharani? Jagannath is alone; he's not there. So uh, okay, before I share the answer to this question, I would like to share the thoughts of Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, which he has mentioned in Swaniyam Dashakam. So he has Raghunath Das Goswami has set some rules for himself, Swaniyam, and these are 10 rules. And I would like to share 3 rules that he has set for himself. And so he says that the 6th verse in that, I will not go through the shloka, the original verse, but only the translation. So he says that not for a moment shall I go near a hypocrite who worships only Lord Govinda and does not worship exalted Srimati Radharani, who is glorified by the Vedas and the great sages, headed by Narada, and who is most dear to Krishna. This is my vow. So this is what I mentioned, that Gaudiya Vaishnavas, they have nothing to do with Krishna. They only give importance to Krishna because Radharani is there. Okay. And then what he says in the 3rd verse, which is before the 6th verse, he says that even though I suffer in non-separation from the divine couple, I shall not even for a moment live the land of Vraj, where Radha Krishna enjoy eternally and unparalleled transcendental pastimes. And I shall not, even if he himself invites me, go to see the opulent king of the Yadus in Dwarka. So see, that's why I said that this is the mood that Gaudiya Vaishnavas have, that they have nothing to do with Krishna. They are only concern is to serve Radharani, to make her happy and to arrange for her pastime with Krishna. Now the question is that then why Raghunath Das Goswami also went to Jagannath Puri? So this is answered in the 4th verse, and Raghunath Das Goswami says that if with my own ears I heard Radha has gone to Dwarka, where Lord Hari passionately embraces her to his chest, with an excited heart, I would leave Vraj Bhumi and fly there faster than Garuda. So his concern, his foremost object of worship, Srimati Radharani, if she goes to Dwarka or she goes to anywhere else, he will leave Vraj and he will start following behind Srimati Radharani. So this is the vow of Raghunath Das Goswami, the name, the rules. So now you can understand some mood of our Gaudiya Vaishnavas, and this is how we have to also develop the similar type of mood. Okay. Now, how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu worshipped Jagannath without Radharani? This is also the question. So one question is that is Radharani there? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, why did he worship? So one thing we can say that, well, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Sri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nayanya. So he's basically Radha and Krishna himself. So why does he have to see Radharani? But this is what the example has been said by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, that he also has nothing to do with Jagannath. He has nothing to do with Krishna. He has to see Radha and Krishna together. Although basically he has the mood of Radharani. And when we talk about Vipralambha Kshetra, we have to remember one thing, that it is Radha's separation from Krishna, and that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he is in Jagannath Puri, he is in separation from Jagannath. That is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is basically Radharani. And Radharani is seeing Krishna. She is hankering after Krishna in the form of Jagannath, and Jagannath is hankering after Radha in the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I mean, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so he is seeing Radharani in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and that's how Jagannath is also hankering in the mood of separation in Jagannath Puri. So both are in separation towards each other, and they are trying to pacify that. Okay, so coming back to the question about where is Radharani. So now our acharyas, they quote that Radharani is in the embrace of Lord Jagannath. Okay, so what they are saying is that Radharani is actually present, and Jagannath is embracing her, and this is like eternally there. So what is the praman for this? And they quote this 6th verse of Jagannath Ashtakam. Para Brahma Pida Kuvalaya Dalafula Nayano Nimasi Niladro Nita Charano Anta Shirashi Rasananda Radasa Rasa Vapura Lingana Sukha Jagannath Swami Nayana Bhatagamini Bhavatume. So Lord Jagannath, whose eyes resemble full-blown lotus petals, is the ornament on Brahma's head. He resides on Nilachal hill with his lotus feet placed on the heads of Anantadev. Overwhelmed by the malice of love, he joyfully embraces Srimati Radharani's body, which is like a cool pond. May that Jagannath Swami be the object of my vision. There are several other verses in the Jagannath Ashtakam. I'm pretty sure that devotees must have gone through it. It also talks about the Vrad Leela. Like Jagannath basically is in the Vrindavan forest and he's glancing at the Vrajvasis, and then he's also having some pastimes there. So majority of the Jagannath Ashtakam is composed of Vrad Leela, and especially Radharani and the Gopis, right? So this is how we can understand. Another praman is that during the Navakalevaram festival, when Jagannath body is changed, so after cutting that special tree, some special nyas mantras are actually placed on these logs, and the priest, they meditate on Radharani and place the nyas mantra 6 times on the logs. And what do they meditate? I meditate on Radhika Rani, who is the most beautiful, and with a thumb and index finger, she is placing betel leaf into mouth of Lord Jagannath. And then they also describe the beauty of Srimati Radharani. So this is the meditation at the end of when the trees are cut and the log is prepared, and it's almost at the end of the entire process, that they place nyas mantras and they meditate on Srimati Radharani. This another praman, and third praman is there is also one Shayan Vigraha which is golden in complexion, and it's a combined form of Lakshmi Narayan. So it's worshipped during the late night Leela of the Lord. And as I shared earlier, in the late night, Lord Jagannath is basically into the Braj mood, in Ras Leela mood, right? So this particular Shayan Vigraha is worshipped during the late night, placed besides the throne of Jagannath, and then Geet Govind is sung. Now you know that Jayadeva Goswami's Geet Govind is a very esoteric description of the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. So this is sung and then placed to sleep on the bed of Jagannath. with offering of some coconut water. Okay, so these are all indications, and then it is also said that Radharani's Madanakya Mahabhav, it is the color of that is golden. That's why we say that Radharani is golden in complexion. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari. That Madanakya Mahabhav, because of that, the color of Radha's body is golden, and this Shan Vigra is also golden in complexion. So these are all the evidences how one can understand that actually Radharani is also present in near Jagannath. But we should have the eyes to see that. This is also similar to Radharaman's form, because there is no Radharani besides Radharaman. It appears to be like that, but Radharaman is a special form which is not different from Lord Chaitanya, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave his benediction to Gopal Bhatta Goswami that he himself is will be manifesting in the form of Krishna in from the Shaligram Shila. So it is considered that Radharani is inside Radharaman, and that's why there is no separate need of installing Radharani DT. And if you have been to Radharaman temple, they have this Radhanam besides Radharaman, and they worship that Radhanam. So apart from the Antaranga Shakti, they also worship Radhanam besides Radharaman. So this Radharaman is not different from Radha and Krishna combined together, basically Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And like similar to this, it's also Lord Jagannath embracing Radharani in Jagannath Puri. Okay. So see, now the question is that shouldn't we go to Braj, and why should we leave Braj and go to Jagannath Puri or any other place? So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur and Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, what they say about this, it's very amazing. You know, they have revealed the deeper meaning of this. And so Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur says that shallow thinkers appreciate Vrindavan, but a man of real bhajan, real divine aspiration, aspires to live in Kurukshetra. He said after visiting many places of pilgrimage, Bhaktivinoda Thakur preferred to stay large days in Puri, and Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, Kurukshetra is a real place of bhajan. So why did Bhaktivinoda Thakur go there? If you know, Bhaktivinoda Thakur spent his last days in Jagannath Puri, because he understood that there is greatest need for serving Srimati Radharani in Kurukshetra. Because in Kurukshetra, Radharani is desperate in condition, difficult in situation. Since there is no Vrindavan, he could not relate with Krishna, although he is seeing Krishna, but she could not relate with Krishna. There is no Yamuna, there is no Govardhan, there is no Vamshivat, and she's seeing the opulence of Krishna. So she is in a very desperate condition, very difficult situation, and in that, if her maid servants they assist her, they pacify her, then that is actually the greatest service. So where there is greatest need, their service is most appreciated, and that's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that Kurukshetra is the place of real bhajan, as similar to what Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur also said. Now, Kurukshetra, so they're talking about Kurukshetra. So how is it connected to Puri? Well, Puri is actually not different from Kurukshetra, because this is the same setup where you see Jagannath is in the opulent form, but at the same time also eager to meet the Vrajvasis. So it is not different from Kurukshetra, right? So that's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur goes to that town. Srila Gaur Govind Maharaj says that actually Jagannath Puri is like a crying school. Everyone is crying. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is crying for Krishna, Krishna is crying for Radharani, the Gaudiya Vaishnava, they are crying for the Radha and Krishna there. So this is a place where we can actually learn to cry for Krishna. Okay. Yeah. So now, all right. So this is the significance of the Dham. But and then I think I will also like to share a few points about Dwarka. And as I stated earlier, that Mathura and Dwarka Leela, they are meant to nourish Braj Leela. So they both are within Braj Leela. This is a confidential thing which you will not be able to realize, because they may be far apart. But see, in the transcendental realm, in the spiritual world, there is no concept of far distance. It is also conception of mind, because one can move at any speed in the spiritual world. So there is no constraint of distance. Although in the Goloka chart we have seen there is a distance in between Mathura, Gokul, and Dwarka. but that is just to that enhance the Leela of the Lord, nourish the Leela. I mean, you don't require moon and sun in the spiritual world, but moon and sun also exist in the spiritual world in order to enhance the pastimes of the Lord. So there is a sequence of the day, and the Lord follows that. But just like here in the material world, sun and moon are our need and requirement. There they are just assisting in the pastimes of the Lord. That's it. Okay. So, so the Gauravan Maharaj says that between Nami and Nam, the later is more merciful. Similarly, Navdeep Leela is more merciful than Braj Leela. And Navdeep Leela is basically a closed chamber of Braj Leela. So basically, Braj Leela has got, it's in two forms. One is Prakat, Aprakat. And Aprakat is basically Navdeep Leela. So which is closed. And Vraj is open, Prakat, it's manifested. In closed, Krishna feels acute pain of separation from Shrimati Radharani, and he cries and cries. This Veera Bhav, Vipralamba Bhav. And due to this, he develops three desires, which we know what is the internal desire for which Krishna appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? So, because of these three desires, he entered the core of the heart of Shrimati Radharani and took the golden complexion. So, externally separation, but internally it is union. Because, see, when you love Krishna to the extent that you start feeling his separation, in that separation, your prema is so intensified that you start seeing Krishna internally in your internal vision. Okay, Krishna manifests to you internally. Although he's separated from you externally, but because of your great prema, the Lord will manifest to you constantly, and that's why there is a union inside, but separation outside. So it is also mentioned in the Radha Tantra that when Radharani feels acute separation from Krishna, she chants Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So this is also another glory of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Sometimes there is a controversy that why don't we chant Radhe Radhe and why we chant so much Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And it seems that someone tries to minimize the glories of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but Radharani chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra when she feels acute pain of separation. So very special potency of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So Navdeep is like hidden Vrindavan inside Vrindavan. Although miles apart, in the material world, miles apart, but internal. But it's internal and no different. That's why no difference between the forest of Navdeep and Braj. This we need to understand. Okay, this is what our acharyas have revealed to us. It's all part of Vraj Leela. It's all inside that. Okay, and then Sri Natarajan Das Thakur also in his Gauranga Duti Pada Pratna prayers, he from the third verse he says that Gaurange Rasangi Gane Nitya Siddha Thori Mane Seje Brajendra Sutapas Shri Gauda Gandala Bhumi Jebe Jane Chintamani Tara Hoi Braja Bhume Vas. So what is the meaning of this verse? Simply by understanding that the associate of Lord Chaitanya are eternally free from material contamination, one can immediately be promoted to translate the word of Lord Krishna. If one simply understands that the land of Navdeep is not different from Vrindavan, then he actually lives in Vrindavan. Right? So one should consider the associate of Mahaprabhu as this is the associate of Radha and Krishna. Then one can actually easily understand that Navdeep is not different from Vrindavan. Now, coming back to the point where I stated that Dwarka is also part of Raj, and I said that there is a praman in the Srimad Bhagavatamrit. This is verse number 1.4.90 to 91. Okay, so during the ancient time when Madhu demon ruled Mathura, so Madhu and Ketab, they were killed by the Lord, and that's how the name Madhuvan came up. That kingdom extended all the way to the Western Ocean and included the region of Dwarka. And then Sanatana Goswami quotes the Harivamsh as a praman. So Sri Harivamsh confirms this in the words of Madhu himself, spoken to the son-in-law of Vikradu. Welcome, dear boy, Haryashwa. I am happy to see you. Let me give you this, my entire kingdom, except for the Madhuvan forest. Please agree to live here and rule this splendid kingdom. grazed by the shores of the ocean. It is rich with cows and people mostly by Abira cowards. During your stay here in the district of Saurashtra, there will come to be a great mountain fortress fit for the residence of kings and unequaled by any other royal estate. Your vast kingdom will be called Anartha. So this is the Praman from Harivamsha. And then further, Sanatan Goswami also says that sometimes, of course, the land of Mathura is measured as being smaller because in the Vara Puran 158.1, for example, we hear that Supreme Lord refers to my district of Mathura extending for 20 yojanas. Right? If Dwarka is included, then it goes beyond 20 yojanas. So the smaller Mathura Mandal is the area marked by the footprints of Sri Nandan Nandana, who frequently wanders and plays there tending his cows. So this is what we have to understand, that Vraj is the place where it is basically Vrindavan, where Krishna is in original form, but Dwarka is also extension of that, and it also nourishes Vraj Leela. The supreme opulences of personality of Godhead are manifest in Dwarka because Dwarka is greater, it's a part of the greater Mathura. So glorification of Dwarka is also in effect glorification of Mathura. Now, Dwarka is also Jagannath, Puri Dham, Nilachal, right? So that's why I just shared this. And now the question, is Jagannath Puri in the spiritual world? Okay, well, because we know that Vrindavan exists in the spiritual world. We know Navdeep exists in the spiritual world. What about Jagannath Puri? So in Brihad Bhagavatam with Sanatan Goswami 2.5.209, he says that transcendental abode of Jagannath Puri on earth is also present in Vaikuntha. But Srila Prabhupada writes there is no special planet for Lord Jagannath. If someone attracted to Jagannath, they will go to Krishna, Goloka. So this is letter 9th of January 1975. So it seems that there is some transcendental difference of opinion between Srila Prabhupada and Sanatana Goswami. But we can reconcile this by stating that Jagannath, so see, what does Sanatana Goswami say? The transcendental abode of Puri on earth is also present in Vaikuntha. So Puri is also present in Vaikuntha. And in the Golok chart, you will see that in between Dwarka and Mathura, they have shown Jagannath Puri. Okay. You have to see it carefully. Whereas what Srila Prabhupada is saying, there is no special planet for Lord Jagannath. So it means that basically Puri is embedded within Dwarka and Mathu and Braj. It is not separate planet. So you can reconcile. Both are saying, it seems Prabhupada saying something different, but no. Prabhupada and Sanatan Goswami, you combine their statements, then both are true. And at the same time, Jagannath is also present in his deity form. So he's not like he's not like Krishna, he's not like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, like a personal living personality is going from one place to another place. He's in a fixed deity form in the spiritual world. So that's how we have Jagannath Puri also in the Vaikuntha. This is how we can understand. Okay, and okay, the significance of Rath Yatra, basically, it's very important to understand from Gaudiya perspective that we are carrying Krishna from Dwarka to Vrindavan. We are dragging Krishna from Dwarka to Vrindavan. He's also excited, super excited to be part of Vrindavan, and he wants to go there. So our role is to help assist Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Basically, we are assisting Srimati Radharani to bring Krishna to Vrindavan. Okay, that should be the mood. And all right, now what about? So we'll conclude with Ulta Rath. So whether should we participate in Ulta Rath, because Ulta Rath is basically taking out Krishna from Vrindavan and actually asking me to go to Dwarka. So do we do that? Do the followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu do that? Absolutely not. Why do we want Krishna to go away from Vrindavan to Dwarka? But you see, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is description of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu attending this Ulta Rath ceremony, right? So this is a question, that how do we understand this? But there is an answer. There's a key in this, and it says that Mahaprabhu actually he was not ahead of the Rath, but he was behind the Rath. So what Mahaprabhu was doing, he was asking Krishna, don't go, don't go, stop, stop, don't go. So because that's why he was behind the Rath. He was not pulling the Rath. So when you are ahead, you pull the Rath, that you're taking Krishna away. But when you are behind, then you are just asking him to stay there. So this is what we are supposed to do during Ulta Rath. We are not supposed to go in the front, and we are not supposed to pull the Rath, but we want to stop Jagannath. All right. So with this we end, and maybe next time let's see if there is a lot of discussion about the glories of Mahaprasad, then we can have another class on that. So all right, thank you so much, devotees, for joining, for staying all the way throughout the class. And if you have any comments or questions, then please share. Hare Krishna. Dhanavad.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. This is Geeta. Thank you very much for the very, very informational class. And I mean, there's so many things one could connect the dots. I did not understand. You said that Jagannath Puri is between Mathura and Dwarka. And if you can kindly expand on that. Thank you.
Okay, in the spiritual world, Sanatana Goswami says that it is in between Dwarka and Mathura. So see, Mathura is considered to be part of Vraj Bhumi, right? If you have been to Vraj, in the Chorasi Coast Parikrama, Mathura is also part of that. It's one of the forests of Vrindavan, 12 among the 12 forests. So basically, what is Jagannath form? Jagannath form is he wants to go to Vraj. From Dwarka, he wants to go to Vraj. That's why between Mathura and so Mathura is also considered to be part of Vraj. That's why between Mathura and Dwarka. So I hope.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanat Pranam. Always to Shri Prabhupada. Just such a nice class, scholarly and yet full of Rasik Bhav. And so many Sandarbhas have been condensed into such a short class. And is so much nectarian. Every word was a nectar. And it was so difficult to digest in such a short to maybe revise, I mean, go over this recordings again. It was so nice, and Jagannath pastimes in so many rasas have come to life. Mostly we will be hearing the Daru Brahman that it came, that Indradumna, King Indradumna, that Upak, that pastime would be played in some drama, mostly the dramas and all in the temple. But these so many the Rasik angle have not been, I've never heard. So it is so nice to relate and how it is both Sambhog Leela as well as Vipralamba, Sambhog Ras as well as Vipralamba Ras, and how and yes, it is so important. Yeah, also you said correctly that I mean, I was also thinking that actually the Braj is a Sambhog Lila, but the nectar, the mellow is actually in the Vipralamba Lila. Sambhog Ras. Braj is a Sambhog Ras. So, but actually the nectar, the tears would come in the Vipralamba Ras. So anybody who is hankering for the real nectar would actually long for the Vipralamba Ras. That's why I see that people going to Vrindavan, that's okay. But unless we hanker for the Vrindavan, that Sambhog Ras, we will not be able to enjoy the Sambhog Ras. So to prepare for that, one has to go to, one has to be in Nilachal. So it was so nicely you have, yeah, I was also thinking then you actually gave it a form in the form of words. Wonderful, Prabhu, and it is so nice to have many points are there. I'm actually lost in the various rasas as well as the scholarly erudite presentation. It is so it will take for some time for me to digest. Wonderful class for you.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. The entire credit goes to Srila Gaur Govind Maharaj because he's the one who has revealed the tattva of Jagannath Puri Dham. I mean, it is entirely his contribution. Without his mercy, without his making the, I mean, obviously the acharyas, they have revealed it, but then it's Gaur Govind Maharaj who had assembled all these teachings together, and then he, in a simple form, he actually presented to us. So
Is it
all credit for Gaur Govind Maharaj and his disciples also, who made this content available to us. So yeah, I'm just sharing it like a postman.
So Gaur Govind Maharaj, is it available in YouTube or is it in a book?
So see, the Gaur Govind Maharaj wrote books, The Embankment of Separation, then Mathura Bits Vrindavan, and then his disciple Madhavanand Prabhu, he has been doing a lot of research on the scriptures, and then he presents also in the form of the magazines, and he also issues the Krishna Kathamrit Bindu series, which has been going on since a long time. So all these tattvas and everything is actually given in the books and the magazines. Basically in the books, and then Madhavanand Prabhu has taken the content from the books and he has also shared in the magazines and the issues, the Krishna Kathamrit Bindu issues.
Wonderful.
Of course, it is Chaitanya Charitamrita. Prabhupada also mentions these points because, I mean, Prabhupada has given us everything. It's just that we have to be cautious and aware what Prabhupada is saying, and we need to understand at that point of time. So these details are not there by our acharyas, but it is very nicely brought forth by Srila Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I have the book of Bhakti Swami and the Sri Satra. I've not yet fully read it though. Yeah. Those rasas, drastic angle may be missing there. These are wonderful.
Yeah. Because I mean, see, it's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is who? Who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than Radha Krishna. So when Radharani is there, definitely it will have a Rasik angle also. So wherever Mahaprabhu is there, that will have a Rasik angle.
Wonderful.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, this is Geeta once again. Please excuse my asking this question, but I had heard that I went to Puri about 2 years ago, and that Lord Krishna's heart is there. I don't know whether these are fables or from but I just heard that one reason he's living there, the heart is palpitating, beating over there, like it went from Dwarka in the water to, and the king got it, and then he asked somebody to make the deity. Is that true?
I had heard the same thing a couple of months or years back, and then I had asked devotees, but I don't think anyone has heard something like this. And even in Gaur Govind Maharaj's books or teachings, till now I have not come across that. I mean, if some of his disciples will say that this is not mentioned at all, then maybe we can believe that this is just one of the conceptions of some devotees in Jagannath Puri. I mean, it's not there probably in Gaudiya Vaishnava literature or in Shastra. So
okay,
yeah. But yeah, till now I have not come across that past time.
And what's the significance? Thank you, Prabhuji. And what's the significance of changing the flag every day, on top of the temple at that particular time?
Okay. That I'm not sure, Madhuri. I will have to find that out. So what what research I've done is only related to Puri Dham and Lord Jagannath's form. There are, as I shared in the beginning of the class, that there are so many details about the temple, about the prasadam, about the architecture, about so many other things out there. It will take another class to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
But if I know, then I will share it with share in the group also in WhatsApp.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
I don't know the pastime behind that changing of flag ceremony. So maybe I will have to read that, go through it.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you so much for this nectarian class. We are just absorbing your nectar. And so thank you so much. And yes, we can take another class, Prabhuji, because Jagannath temple and Jagannath Puri, Jagannath topic is so vast and so interesting. So yeah, next time you can add this topic, Prabhuji, on this for this your class.
Yeah, sure, Bhavaji. We can next session maybe we can have something related to glories of Mahaprasad and maybe some other more details also. So I'll
Yes, and the kitchen over there, like 70 chulhas are there, and how Mother Lakshmi cooks there. So
yeah,
yeah.
these are all many details are there. But I think what I've shared is the most important part, which is connected to Gaudiya Vaishnava mood,
That's true. Yeah.
mood of worship, and
Yeah.
the significance of all these places for us. So then obviously
Yeah.
there are many details which I would strongly recommend that devotees can read the book of Jagannath Puri Guidebook by Mahanidhi Maharaj. Although Mahanidhi
Okay.
Maharaj is no longer in ISKCON, but he has wonderfully assembled all the points. Very
And
detailed.
there is one book also, Prabhuji, by Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj
Sri Kshetra
that
Parikrama.
about Jagannath Puri that we have, Prabhuji.
Yeah, but see, there is Sri Kshetra Parikrama.
Mhm.
I am not sure if he has written, Bhakti Prasad Maharaj has written as another book about Jagannath Puri. I'm not sure because he's basically born in Puri, so he's a Dhamvasi himself, and so I am not sure, but uh, I have come across several books written by devotees on Jagannath Puri, Jagannath Temple, like that. So devotees, so you can, I strongly recommend to read these things. So
Yes.
these details you can get in the books, but what I've shared today, you'll have to go to different places. You'll have to find out where it is, and that's what I just thought that I will assemble it all together because you'll not be able to get it directly. So, that I did. About the temple description and all that, you can get in the book actually all that information. Yeah. So
Yeah, also, Prabhuji, I have one more question that when the people do Char Dham Yatra, so that we don't have Vrindavan also and the Jagannath Puri. It has only Gangotri, Kedarnath, and Badrinath.
no, there are two different char dhams. One is that Gangotri, Yamunotri, Kedarnath, Badrinath, and another char
Mhm.
dham for the Vaishnavas is the place of Lord Vishnu Krishna, Jagannath Puri, Dwarka. We have Rameshwaram, and then we have Badrinath, north, south, east, west.
Okay. Okay. So for Vaishnava, it's different. Okay.
In fact, last week I was in Raj,
Mm-hmm.
and I was fortunate enough to visit all these char dhams because they are all in Raj. So this is in the part of Kamyavan forest, and this Badrinath, Kedarnath, Yamunotri, Gangotri, Mansarovar, Rishikesh, Haridwar, they are all in Raj. And it is all called Adi Kedarnath, Adi Badrinath, Adi Yamunotri, Adi Gangotri, because it is said that
Mm-hmm.
the other north part of the dhams, they are all coming from the original, uh, forms in Vraj. So Vraj is basically Adi. So just like all avatars manifest from Krishna, similarly, all the dham places they also come from. There is also Rameshwaram, Setuban Rameshwaram. There's also now the bridge is not visible, but Krishna actually constructed a bridge in the past time in Braj Leela, because there was a pastime where Krishna claimed that I am the same Lord Ramchandra, and there were also monkeys in Braj Leela. So the gopis could not believe that, and so they challenged Krishna that if you claim that you are Lord Ram, then build a bridge and build it with stones. So the stones should float on the water. And then he did that. He built a bridge. That is called Setuban Rameshwaram site. So I was fortunate enough to visit these places. My friend from US had come. So we had all met there in Braj. And I recommended them we can try this Char Dham this time. So it is in Kamyavan forest. Very beautiful place, very beautiful, isolated, very beautiful, and you'll see mountains, and these are like beautiful mountains. It is not normal mountains. These are like beautiful mountains. So extremely important place, and highly recommended. Devotees, see, I would strongly suggest devotees when they go to Vraj, please also try to explore different forests of Vrindavan. Because every time you go, generally the thing is we are doing 7 temples, we are doing Govardhan Parikrama. That's it. We don't get time, then we go back. But I would also suggest that, so when are you going to get the time to see the different forests of Vrindavan? So maybe you can, what you can do is you can visit 7 temples, or you can do Govardhan Parikrama, and then other day you can specially visit one of the forests of Vrindavan. That replacement you can do, because you don't get so much time when you come in India. It's highly recommended, and you will feel that the forest of Braj. You will actually feel the real forest of Braj, because Vrindavan is very difficult to perceive. It's been commercialized, so much pollution, noise, and contamination around. So our eyes are not able to perceive that, but you can easily Dankao, Barsana. They are all places where we can. Uh, it is definitely something that can relate with our material senses. I mean, we are conditioned. So to be honest, we need that kind of vision also. Although obviously Vrindavan is heard, the glory of Vrindavan is revealed to us. It is revealed by hearing. It is not by seeing. So that also, but we should get attached to the Dham. And if you are not able to visit the Dham, then you can definitely please purchase Braj Mandal Parikrama book, Shri Kshetra Parikrama book, and Navdi Mandal Parikrama. And whenever you get chance, keep reading that book so that you'll feel your presence in the Dham. I also highly recommend devotees to read Shivram Maharaj Navraj Mahima, an excellent set of volume covering the entire forest of Braj in detail, in lot of detail, and excellently revealing the tattva of the Dham, the holy name, and so many other pastimes of the Lord. Excellent set of volumes. So when you read, then you can actually understand Braj Puri. So I mean, see, this is how we understand Jagannath Puri also today. When we shared with each other, like what are the glories? How do we see Jagannath? What is the identity of Jagannath? So this is all there in the scripture, and the Goswamis, they have written about it. So this is how the glory of the Dham is revealed to us through hearing, reading, like that.
So, Prabhuji, Govardhan Parikrama is more significant than Vrindavan Parikrama, that other one?
Of course, I mean, our Goswamis, they have given the importance of Govardhan. Higher than Vaikuntha is Mathura, higher than Mathura is Vrindavan, higher than Vrindavan is Govardhan, and topmost is Radhakund, right? But I mean, it is not like we don't have to think always like that. What is highest? What is highest? We have to also see everything is Krishna. So you taste, like for example, when you taste Rasgulla, Prabhupada said, when you taste Rasgulla, it will be sweet from any angle, from any part you taste it. So similarly, if you are not able to see Vraj in its entirety, it's a good chance to go and visit and see the 12 forests of Vrindavan. And then you may have your own favorite place of bhajan or your liking. You can visit there repeatedly also. Plus, this um, this gradation is according to the Madhurya um, angle. So the more you go to Radhakund, I mean Radhakund topmost in the sense that it is only Madhuryamai. There is no question of mixing with uh, Sakhya and Vatsalya, because there are only Radharani and the Gopis and the Sakhis and Manjaris. That's it. No one is allowed there. Only on the borders of Radhakund, some Sakhas like Subal, who have also got Madhurya or Ras to some extent, they Priya Narma Sakhas, they come at the border of Radhakund, but they cannot enter Radhakund. So in that sense, Madhurya Ras is fully developed and manifested in Radhakund. And then in different parts of Raj, it will be a mixture of Vatsalya, Sakhya, ras like that, because Krishna goes in the forest and then he plays with his cowherd boys friends. And sometimes the gopis will also come. Sometimes Yashoda Maya and Nand Maharaj also will come. So it's a mixture of these different rasas. But in Radha Kund, you'll only see Madhurya ras.
Yeah.
So that way it is important. That is the topmost, Madhurya. Now, from another angle of vision, if you want to consider separation, then Imli Tal in Vrindavan is also considered to be one of the topmost place, because this is where Krishna felt acute pains of separation from Srimati Radharani. And then that body of Krishna transformed into Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's body. So
Which place is this? Sorry, Prabhuji, can you repeat that place?
I'm saying that in Imlital, in Vrindavan, there's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Baithak. So basically, what is that Baithak? That Baithak is Krishna in the separation of Srimati Radharani, and that his body gets transformed into Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's golden complexion, basically. So, and that is a place where Krishna told Radharani that in Kali Yuga I will appear in this form. He showed this form to Radharani in Imlital. So this is a place of separation in Vrindavan, Imlital. Okay. So from separation point of view, this place is also very important, Imlital. And similarly, from the Sambhog point of view, from Madhurya point of view, Radha Kund is the topmost.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, when you have limited time, you have few options, then it's up to you. Like you can definitely, I mean, I would love to explore, because I have not been to so many, and every time whenever I visited for so many years, we were going to 7 temples, Govardhan Parikrama, same places, Nandgaon, Barsana. But I really had a desire to see the entire forest, the 12 forests. And it is absolutely fine. I mean, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went and he visited all the 12 forests of Vrindavan, right? You've seen Chaitanya Charitamrita. When he went to Braj, he was not just in Radhakund. He went to all the places and he was in ecstasy. Although his ecstasy doubled, tripled when he went to Radhakund, became unlimited. Yeah, that is true. But Mahaprabhu also explored the entire forest of Vrindavan. I mean, what to speak of Raj? Mahaprabhu had traveled to South India. He visited most of the Vishnu temples and Shiva temples. So devotees should not think like that. Although internally they have their own favorite place of worship, that they should always keep in the heart. But if they are getting opportunity, they can go. And then after exploring everything, then you can decide which place you want to spend time.
Yeah, but the most basic I've heard for like a lay person, not necessarily devotees, that Vrindavan ki mitti, Jagannath ka prasad,
Yes.
और गंगा स्नान जो कर ले वो तर जाएगा. That is what I've heard.
Yeah. So there is the importance of the glories of Vrindavan, the Vraj Raj, right? There is, because Krishna personally appeared in Vraj and his feet touched the dust of Vraj. That's why the dust of Vraj is very important. Then in Jagannath Puri, Mahaprasad is extremely important because this entire pastime was there where Durga Devi, she was the one responsible for distributing Mahaprasad to everyone. And then, and yeah, why Mahaprabha? Now, why Mahaprasad is significant? That is also, there is some internal reason behind that. So I was thinking of sharing this in the next session. And then we have Navdeep Leela, where Kirtan is the most important element, right? So Navdeep Leela, Kirtan. So you do Kirtan in Navdeep, you take the dust of Raj, and you have Mahaprasad in Jagannath Puri. So these are most potent forms in these respective dhams.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Navdeep Leela is Audarya, Vipralamba is Jagannath Puri, and then Sambhog is Raj Leela.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yes, I remember when we visited last time Vrindavan, the devotee guide was telling us about the Char Dham in Vrindavan, and Krishna manifested them for his parents, Nanda Baba and Yashoda Mai, because they wanted to do.
There is also Gaya.
Gaya. He said,
Adi Gaya.
why you want to travel? I will manifest it for you here only. So
Yeah.
so, but we didn't get chance to go there. So as you said, every time we can explore more. Yeah. So thank you so much, Prabhuji, for this information.
Okay. All right. So, thank you all the devotees for joining. Hare Krishna. Do not pronounce everyone. Vancha
Vancha
kalpataru,
kalpataru, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय, ग्रंथ राशिमद भागवतम की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, ग्रेस प्रेम रस प्रभु की जय. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.